Hello, my name is Miss Jones. I teach elementary school math, and welcome to my channel, Miss Math Jones. Today, we're going to be working on our third grade Eureka Module 4, Lesson 2 homework. The objective for the homework is to form rectangles by tiling with square units to make arrays. Let's get started. Number 1 says, use the centimeter side of a ruler to draw the tiles. Find the unknown side length or skip count to find the unknown area. Then complete the multiplication equations. Now, you don't necessarily need a centimeter ruler for this. You can just use what you know to figure it out. So let's start with letter A. Letter A says that the area of this rectangle is 24 square centimeters. So you already know the answer to the equation. You know that the total area for this rectangle is 24 square centimeters. Now, the great thing about it is you know the measurement of one side. You know the length. The length is 4. So the equation at the bottom, you have 4 times blank equals 24. So you just have to fill in the blank. And if you know your multiples, then you can fill it in without even counting these square centimeter units. But let's go ahead and count them just to make sure that we understand where the numbers are coming from. So for our length side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 square centimeters. So that's our length, 4. Now let's go ahead and count the square centimeters for the width. Now we're going to go ahead and use that same one up there in the upper left-hand corner and go straight across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that the width is 6. So the number that completes our equation is 6. 4 times 6 equals 24. Now you may have already had that filled in because you knew that 4 times 6 was 24, and that's fine. But I just wanted to review where those numbers are coming from. Now, if you say, hey, this rectangle kind of looks like an array. Well, it is. It basically is. You can use your knowledge of arrays to solve area. Now, let's look at B. B says the area is 24 square centimeters. Same as A, but the rectangle looks different. Okay? Shapes can be situated differently on a piece of paper, but have the same area. So let's go ahead and look at the length first. And it gives it to us as 6 centimeters, but let's just confirm that, right? So we count going straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just like it says on the side, the length is 6 centimeters. So in our first blank, we're going to make sure to put a 6 there. All right, now this is the thing. We know one side is 6. We don't know the other side, but they give us the total, which is 24. So I know that I have 6 rows because we said it looks like an array, right? So we have 6 rows, and I don't know how many are in each row, but I know my total is 24. What does that sound like to you? Get chart. Sounds like a get chart. Area is length times width. And if this looks like an array to you, then you can use a get chart to figure it out. I know that my groups or my rows is 6. I don't know how many are in each row, but I know that my total is 24. 6 times blank equals 24. Well, we solved that problem in A, right? Well, what was it in A? What was the other side in A? It was 4. If 4 times 6 equals 24, then 6 times 4 equals 24. Now, you probably solved that without me. And if you did, then that's amazing. Great. I want you to be able to solve that without me. But if you needed a little extra help, that's okay. If you need to go ahead and pause the video right now to make sure that you have everything written on your paper, go ahead and do so right now. Let's look at letter C. Letter C says that the area is 15 square centimeters. So that means that the total area for the rectangle for letter C is 15. And we know that the length, according to the paper, is 5 centimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 centimeters long. So on my first blank, I'm going to go ahead and write a 5. And again, a reminder that area is length times width. We can use a Get chart to figure it out also. So our groups, number of rows, our length is 5. Now, 5 times what is 15? How many are in each row? We have 5 rows of what? That's going to give us 15. 5 times blank is 15. Well, if you said 5 times 3 was 15, you'd be absolutely correct. Now, let's go ahead and move on to letter D. If this looks familiar, it's because letter C and letter D have the same area. It's just that one rectangle is vertical or straight up and down, and the other rectangle is horizontal or side to side, right? So the length of this rectangle, since it's basically on its side, right, is 3 centimeters. 1, 2, 3. It's 3 centimeters. Now remember, area is length times width. So because we know one side and we know the total, we can whip out our handy dandy Get chart to help us along the way. So we have 3 rows or 3 groups. And the question is 3 groups of what equals 15? 3 times what equals 15? 5. Because with the other rectangle in letter C, 5 times 3 equals 15, which means 3 times 5 equals 15. Now, if you need to go ahead and pause the video to write everything down or just to check your work, go ahead and do so now. Let's take a look at number 2. It says Allie makes a rectangle with 45 square inch tiles. She arranges the tiles in 5 equal rows. How many square inch tiles are in each row? Use words, pictures, and numbers to support your answer. I saw each, so that means I need a Get chart on my paper. So make sure you have a Get chart on your paper. And let's reread. Allie makes a rectangle with 45 square inch tiles. So that means that my total is 45. She arranges the tiles in 5 equal rows. So 5 equal rows are the same as saying 5 groups. 5 rows, 5 groups. How many square inch tiles are in each row? Almost forgot to write down my groups. Okay, 5 groups. So I don't know my each because it says how many square inch tiles are in each row. I'm going to write a question mark there under each. Now, I want to go ahead and write my equation out the exact way that it is in my get chart. So that means I'm going to write 5 times my unknown number equals 45. Or 45 divided by 5 equals my unknown number. Now, I can use my knowledge of multiples of 5 to solve this and skip count by 5s until I get to 45, or I could create a ratio table of 5s until I get to 45. And once you do that on your own, what is the answer? 9. 5 times 9 is 45, or 45 divided by 5 is 9. Very good. Now, I used numbers to support my answer. Now I have to use a picture to support my answer. And with a get chart, I can use an array to show my answer as a picture. So 5 groups with 9 in each group is 5 rows with 9 in each row. So I'm going to create 5 rows of squares with 9 squares in each row. That's row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5. So this is a picture of Allie's rectangle. So the instructions said to use words, pictures, and numbers. So I used a picture. I used numbers. Now I'm going to write my answer out in words. There are 9 square inch tiles in each row. All right, go ahead and pause the video to make sure that you have everything on your paper that I have on my screen, and you may just need to check your work. So go ahead and pause the video and do that now. Let's look at number 3. Number 3 says Leon makes a rectangle with 36 square centimeter tiles. There are 4 equal rows of tiles. How many tiles are in each row? Use words, pictures, and numbers to support your answer. Now I saw the word each, so that's a get chart. Now let's go ahead and reread the question so that I can complete my get chart. Leon makes a rectangle with 36 square centimeter tiles. That means that the total area for his rectangle is 36. My next sentence says that there are 4 equal rows of tiles. Rows mean groups. So if there are 4 rows, there are 4 groups. Then it asks, how many tiles are in each row? So that means we don't know our each. So I'm going to write a question mark under my E for each. Now let's go ahead and set up our equation. If I write it exactly like it is in my get chart, then that means my equation is going to be 4 times my unknown number equals 36. Or 36 divided by 4 equals my unknown number. Now you can skip count by 4s on your own until you get to 36, or make a ratio table of 4s until you get to 36. Now, what answer did you get? Hopefully it was 9. 4 times 9 equals 36, or 36 divided by 4 equals 9. Now, I've used numbers to support my answer. Now I'm going to use a picture. I'm going to create a rectangular array with 4 rows and 9 squares in each row. This is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So now I have 4 rows of squares and there are 9 squares in each row. So this is a picture to represent Leon's first rectangle. And I say Leon's first rectangle because letter B, Leon's going to have to create another rectangle. So this is my picture to support my answer. Now I'm going to use words to support my answer. There are 9 square tiles in each row. Now, you may need to go ahead and pause the video so that you can write everything down on your paper that I have on my screen, or you may just need to check your own work. Whatever the case may be, go ahead, pause the video, and do what you need to do now. Let's look at letter B. Letter B says, can Leon arrange all of his 36 square centimeter tiles into 6 equal rows? Use words and pictures and numbers to support your answer. Okay, I saw rows and I saw what looks like a total. So that sounds to me like a get chart. All right, and let me go ahead and reread our question so that we can complete our get chart, because you always have to read word problems more than once, at least 3 times. All right, can Leon arrange all of his 36 square centimeter tiles? All of his tiles. So that means the total of all of his tiles is 36. So my total is 36. And he's going to arrange those total of 36 tiles into 6 equal rows. Well, I know that rows are the same as groups. So if I have 6 rows, I have 6 groups. I'm going to write a 6 under G. All right. Now, what they haven't given me is an each, because that's the end. Can Leon arrange all of his 36 square centimeter tiles into 6 equal rows? There's nothing else there except for to use words, pictures, and numbers to support your answer, which means they didn't give me an each. I have to figure that out. Now, if I write my equation like my get chart is set up, then my equation would be 6 times my unknown number equals 36, or 36 divided by 6 equals my unknown number. Now, on your own, you can go ahead and skip count by 6s until you get to 36, or create a ratio table of 6s and see what number times 6 would give you 36. So, what's our answer? Hopefully you did that work on your own already. And the answer that you got was 6. Because 6 times 6 equals 36, or 36 divided by 6 equals 6. Now, we've just used numbers to support our answer. Now, let's use a picture. Let's create an array with 6 rows of 6 squares in each row. So, this is our first row. This is our second row. This is our third row. Our fourth row. Our fifth row. And our sixth row. So now we have 6 rows of 6. This is Leon's second rectangle. Now, we've created a picture that represents and supports our answer. Now we just have to use words. There are 6 tiles in each row. Now you may want to go ahead and pause your video to make sure that you have everything on your paper that I have on my screen, or you may just need to check your work. Whatever the case may be, go ahead and pause your video and do so now. This is the last question in our homework. It says, do the rectangles in parts A and B have the same total area? Explain how you know. So right now you need to look back at the rectangle from letter A and the rectangle from letter B. Now the rectangle from letter A, the area was 4 rows of 9, or 4 times 9 equals 36. And the rectangle from letter B, Leon's second rectangle, was 6 times 6 equals 36, or 6 rows of 6 equals 36. Now, the question did not ask you if they had the same measurements for length and width. That is not what the question asked you. The question asked, do these rectangles have the same total area? And the answer is yes. They both have the same total area because the total area for both is 36. Now, if you want to go ahead and pause your video to write that sentence that yes, they have the same total area because the total area for both is 36, then go ahead and do so now. Right. Lesson 2 homework is complete. Congratulations. As always, I hope this video has helped. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.